Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're focusing on something that, well, sparks a lot of hope around the world. The Diversity Visa Lottery.
Or the green card lottery, as many people call it.
Exactly. This program opens the door to potentially 55,000 immigrant visas each year.
And its main purpose is really to offer a shot at permanent residency for folks from countries with historically lower immigration rates to the U.S.
Right. And for those of you who applied for the DV 2026 lottery, that window was between October 2nd and November 7th, 2024. Well, the results just came out.
They did, May 3rd, 2025 at noon Eastern time. So a pretty big moment for a lot of listeners, I imagine.
Absolutely. So in this deep dive, what are we going to cover? We'll walk you through exactly how to check your results.
And clarify something really critical, what selection actually means, because it's not the finish line.
Not at all. It's the chance to apply. So we'll cover the essential next steps if you are selected.
And crucially, warnings. Important warnings about scams and those deadlines you absolutely have to watch.
It's totally understandable if you're feeling, excited, but maybe a bit overwhelmed too.
For sure. Our goal here is just to give you a clear step-by-step guide, drawing from the official info to help you navigate this whole thing.
Okay, let's jump right in. First step, checking your DV 2026 results. Now this is key. There's only one legitimate way to do this.
That's right. The one and only official place is the Entrant Status Check website. The address dvprogram.state.gov.
dvprogram.state.gov.
Exactly. It is so important you use that specific address. Be really careful about sites that look similar.
Because official U.S. government sites always end in .gov. Right?
Always. That .gov suffix is your signal that it's legit. Anything else, be very suspicious. That single website is your only source of truth.
Okay. And to check, what information do people need to have ready?
You need three things. First, your 16-digit confirmation number. You got that right after you submitted your application online.
Okay, that long number.
Yep. Second, your last name, and it has to be spelled exactly as you entered it on your application.
No typos.
No typos. And third, your year of birth. Just the year.
Got it. Confirmation number, last name, year of birth.
Right.
So you have those details. What are the actual steps on the website?
It's pretty straightforward. You go to dvprogram.state.gov. You'll see fields to enter that confirmation number, last name, and birth year.
Right.
Then there's usually a security check. Type in the characters you see.
Standard stuff.
Right, just to make sure you're human and protect your info. Fill it all in accurately, hit submit, and boom, your status shows up. Either selected or not selected.
Simple enough. But what if someone lost that confirmation number? Is there a way back from that?
Yes, thankfully. There is a recovery tool right there on the Entrant Status Check website.
Good.
Yeah, if you've lost the number, you can use that tool. You'll need to enter some personal details and, crucially, the email address you used when you first applied.
That's a relief. And how long do people have to check? Is there a rush right now?
Well, the results are available now since May 3rd, 2025, but they stayed up for quite a while. They'll be accessible until at least September 30th, 2026.
So a good long window.
A very long window, plenty of time to check.
Now this next point, we really need to hammer this home because scams are, sadly, so common. How will the U.S. government not tell people they've won?
This is absolutely critical. Listen up. The U.S. government will never, ever send you an unsolicited email saying you've been selected.
Never.
Never. They won't call you either. Any email, any phone call, any website claiming you've won and maybe asking for money or info.
Scam.
Almost certainly a scam. They're trying to get your money or your personal data. The only way to know for sure is for you to go to that official dvprogram.state.gov site and check yourself.
So even if you get an email that looks official, maybe reminding you to check.
They might send reminders to check the site, yes, but the email itself will never contain your actual result. It will just point you back to the official Entrant Status Check page.
Okay, crystal clear. Check the site yourself, period. So let's say you do that. You go to the site, enter your info, and it says selected. Big news. But what does that really mean?
It's definitely fantastic news. Cause for celebration for sure. But, and this is a big but, it's just the first step.
Right, not the green card itself.
Not even close, really. Selection means you are now eligible to apply for a diversity visa for a green card. Doesn't guarantee you'll get one. You still have to meet all the requirements and complete the whole application process successfully.
So if you see selected, what's the very first thing you should do? Don't just sit back.
Absolutely not. act fast. There's a limited number of visas, remember, up to 55,000 per year.
Okay.
And they're generally issued as eligible applicants get through the process. So the sooner you start, the better, especially if you have a lower case number. That often means an earlier potential interview slot. Speed is definitely your friend here.
And what's the immediate next concrete step after being selected?
The very next big step is completing the DS-260 form. That's the online immigrant visa application. DS-260?
Yep. You'll access it through the Entrant Status Check website after you confirm you've been selected. It's a detailed form, asks for a lot about you, your family, background.
So accuracy there is vital, I assume.
Oh, absolutely. Any errors or inconsistencies on the DS-260 can cause significant delays down the line. Take your time, be thorough.
Okay, DS-260 submitted. Then what happens? You just wait.
Pretty much.
Okay.
The Kentucky Consular Center, or KCC, reviews your DS-260. If everything looks in order and your case number becomes current, they'll determine if you're ready for an interview.
An interview? Where does that happen?
At a U.S. embassy or consulate, usually in your country of residence.
Okay.
You'll get an email telling you an interview might be scheduled, but again, the email won't have the details. It will tell you to go back to the Entrant Status Check website.
Back to the website again.
Exactly. That's where you'll find the actual date, time, and location for your interview. And remember, everyone applying spouse, eligible kids, they all have to attend that interview. That sounds like a really major milestone. Any big warnings for people heading towards that interview stage?
Yes, a huge one. Please do not make irreversible life changes yet.
Like what?
Like selling your house, quitting your job, booking non-refundable flights to the U.S.
Right. Hold off on all that.
Absolutely. Wait until you have actually received the immigrant visa document in your passport. Visas usually aren't issued on the same day as the interview. They're still processing after that.
That is very practical advice. Okay, let's shift to another key piece. The medical exam. What's involved there?
Right, the medical exam. Everyone applying, including family members immigrating with you, needs one.
Everyone.
Everyone. And it has to be done by a specific doctor called a panel physician authorized by the local U.S. embassy or consulate.
You can't just go to your regular doctor.
No, it has to be one of their approved panel physicians. The exam itself includes looking at your medical history, a physical exam, a chest x-ray, and blood tests, specifically for syphilis. How you get the results varies. Sometimes the doctor sends them directly to the embassy. Sometimes they give them to you in a sealed envelope to bring to your interview. You'll need to check the local procedure.
And this exam, is
Yeah.
it like a full checkup? Looking for everything?
No, that's a common misconception. It's not a comprehensive physical. Its specific purpose is to screen for certain medical conditions that are relevant under U.S. immigration law, things related to public health.
So they aren't looking for, say, high cholesterol or something?
Nope. The panel physician isn't there to diagnose or treat other conditions, even if they find something else during the exam. Their focus is purely on those specific immigration-related health grounds.
Got it. What about your medical history? What specifically do you need to tell the panel physician about?
Transparency is key. If you've ever tested positive for TB, even just the skin test, or had active TB,
Okay.
you need documentation from your doctor about the situation, the treatment, how long it lasted. Same if you ever had syphilis, need proof of adequate treatment.
What about pregnancy? Does that affect the exam, especially the x-ray?
Good question. Pregnant applicants generally still need the chest x-ray, but they take special precautions. They need your informed consent, and they use shielding, like double lead aprons, to protect the fetus.
Okay, safety first. Are there other history points that are particularly sensitive?
Yes, definitely. You must disclose any history of harmful or violent behavior, things that injured people or animals, or caused serious property damage.
Even if it was a long time ago.
Yes. Also, any suicide attempts or self-harm, and any history of treatment or hospitalization for psychiatric or mental illness, or substance abuse, alcohol, or drugs.
Why do they need to know all that?
It helps the physician assess if there might be an underlying medical condition or substance use disorder linked to that behavior, which could be relevant for immigration purposes.
Okay, that makes sense. Let's talk vaccinations. Are there specific shots required for immigrating?
Yes. There's a whole list of required vaccinations. It covers things like hepatitis A and B, flu, measles, mumps, polio, tetanus, chickenpox, quite a few.
The standard childhood ones, mostly.
Many of them are, yes. The list includes Hep A and B, influenza, citadinal, Hib, measles, meningococcal, mumps, pneumococcal, pertussis, polio, rotavirus, rubella, tetanus diphtheria, and varicella.
Wow, okay. What if you don't have records for all of those? Maybe you lost them over the years.
That happens. If your records are incomplete, the panel physician will figure out what you still need to meet the U.S. requirements. Often, they can actually give you the necessary shots right there during the medical exam appointment.
Oh, convenient.
It can be.
But what if there's a real medical reason someone can't get a specific vaccine, like an allergy?
In those specific situations, yes, waivers might be possible. It usually depends on the panel physician's professional judgment and recommendation based on your medical condition.
Okay, so medical exam done. Then comes the big interview at the embassy, and you need a pile of documents for that, right?
Yeah.
This sounds daunting.
It is a significant step, and being prepared with your documents is crucial. It can feel like a lot, but let's break it down.
Please do. What's first on the list?
Your birth certificate, the original or a certified copy. And it needs specific details. Date and place of birth, both parents' full names, and some kind of official stamp or seal showing it's from the official records.
What if you genuinely can't get one? Some places, records are lost or just weren't kept well.
That's a known issue. If it's truly unobtainable, you need an official statement from the relevant government authority explaining why it can't be provided. Then you'll need secondary evidence.
Like what?
Things like a baptismal certificate, maybe an adoption decree if that applies, or even a sworn affidavit from a close relative who knows your birth detail.
Okay, what about legal records, court stuff?
Yes. If you have any criminal convictions anywhere, ever, you need certified copies of the court records and any prison records for each conviction, even if you were pardoned or received amnesty. The records need to detail the crime and the outcome.
Got it. Military service.
If you served in any country's military, you need a copy of your service record. Though be aware, for some countries, these might be hard or impossible to get.
Right. And police certificates. Those seem standard for immigration.
They are, and the rules are quite specific. You need one if you're 16 or older from a few places.
Okay, which places?
Your country of nationality, if you lived there more than 6 months after turning 16. Your current country of residence, if it's different and you've lived there more than 6 months after 16.
No.
Any previous country where you lived for more than 12 months after turning 16. And this is important, any country where you were ever arrested, no matter your age or how long you lived there.
Wow, that could be several certificates for some people.
It could. One key exception. If you live in the U.S. now or have lived here before, you do not need to get a U.S. police certificate.
Good to know. Do they expire?
Generally, yes, after 2 years. Unless it's from a place you lived previously and haven't gone back to since it was issued. Best advice, check the State Department's Reciprocity by Country page online. It has the exact rules for each country and what to do if one is unobtainable.
Reciprocity by country. Good tip. What other absolute essentials for the interview documents pile?
Definitely need a clear photocopy of the photobiographic data page of your valid passport for you and every family member immigrating with you.
Makes sense.
And proof you meet the eligibility requirements, either education or work experience.
Right, the core requirements. Remind us what those are again?
For education, it's a high school diploma or equivalent, and the U.S. definition is strict, completing a full 12-year course of formal elementary and secondary education.
So a GED doesn't count?
No, a GED is generally not accepted as equivalent for this purpose. And some vocational degrees might not count either, if they aren't a basis for further academic study.
Okay. And the alternative is work experience?
Yes. 2 years of work experience within the last 5 years. But not just any job. It has to be in an occupation that normally requires at least 2 years of training or experience to perform.
How do they measure that?
They use the U.S. Department of Labor's OnNet online database. Your occupation needs to have what's called an SVP-specific vocational preparation rating of 7.0 or higher. That generally corresponds to their job zones 4 or 5.
OnNet online, SVP 7.0, job zone 4 or 5.
Got it.
Got it. Anything else on the document list? Deportation.
Yes, if you've ever been formally deported from the U.S., you need to provide that documentation, specifically Form I-212.
Okay. And family documents. Marriage, divorce.
Absolutely. If you're married, the original or certified copy of your marriage certificate.
Current marriage.
Yes. And if you've been married before, you need the official termination documents for all previous marriages. Divorce decrees, death certificates, annulment papers, originals, or certified copies.
All of them. What about kids, adoption?
If you've adopted children, you need the certified adoption decree, legal custody papers if applicable, a statement showing where the child lived with parents, and for kids adopted between 16 and 17, evidence they were adopted alongside a younger sibling.
That's quite a list. Phew. Are there fees involved with the visa itself?
Yes, there is a diversity visa application fee. For the DV 2024 program, it was $330 per person. You should always double-check the current fee for DV 2026.
$330 per person. Is that refundable if you don't get a visa?
No, unfortunately, it's non-refundable, whatever the outcome.
Okay. And how do you pay it?
It varies by embassy or consulate. Some might require payment before the interview, but most collect it at the interview. Check the specific instructions from the embassy where your interview is scheduled.
Always check the local instructions.
Got it.
And the absolute final drop-dead deadline for this whole process, getting the visa in hand.
For the DV 2026 program, the absolute final deadline to get your visa issued is September 30th, 2026.
September 30, 2026.
That's it. It's a hard deadline. Everything must be completed by then. It really highlights why acting promptly and staying organized is so important.
No kidding. Okay, with so much at stake, we have to talk about avoiding scams again. What are the biggest red flags people need to watch out for?
It's so important. First, remember, entering the lottery is free. The U.S. government never charges a fee just to enter.
Free entry.
And selection is purely random. Nobody can guarantee you'll be selected or increase your chances. If someone claims they can, they're lying.
Big red flag right there.
Huge. Only trust official government websites ending in .gov. Be extremely wary of emails or calls claiming you've won, especially if they ask for money or personal info.
Because the government won't do that.
They will not contact you directly with results, other than maybe a reminder email telling you to check the official site. If it asks for money up front or guarantees a win, run away. It's a scam.
What about websites or agents offering help?
Avoid non-official websites. Don't pay agents or consultants who claim they can guarantee a win or speed things up. The government doesn't work with them. They have zero influence.
So they just take your money?
Pretty much. Also, keep your confirmation number private. And make sure you use your own personal email address when applying.
Good point. And other application pitfalls.
Remember, only one entry per person per year. Multiple entries get you disqualified entirely. Photos have to be recent within the last 6 months and meet those strict specifications. Don't try to add people who aren't your legal spouse or eligible children.
How can you spot a fake website or email easily?
Look at the address. Does it end in .gov? If not, be suspicious immediately.
Even if it looks official. Logos, flags.
Yes, scammers are good at making things look official. They'll use flags, the Capitol building, Statue of Liberty images, but the web address or the email sender address won't end in .gov. That's the giveaway.
So if you get an email from, say, usdvwinners@gmail.com.
Definitely a scam. Official government emails always end in .gov. Treat anything else related to visas with extreme caution.
And if you think you've been targeted or found a dodgy website, what should you do?
Report it. You can file a complaint about internet fraud at econsumer.gov.
econsumer.gov.
Yes, it's an international site for consumer protection agencies. You can also report it to the FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center, which is ic3.gov.
ic3.gov. Okay, good resources.
Yeah.
Let's briefly recap the basic eligibility. Who can't even enter the lottery?
Right, it's based on country of birth. If you're a native of a country with high immigration to the U.S. recently, you're generally not eligible.
And for DV 2026, which countries are those?
The ineligible list for DV 2026 includes Bangladesh, Brazil, Canada, China, that includes mainland and a Hong Kong born,
Okay.
Colombia, Cuba, Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Haiti, Honduras, India, Jamaica, Mexico, Nigeria, Pakistan, the Philippines, South Korea, Venezuela, and Vietnam.
That's a significant list.
It is. But note, natives of Macau, SAR, and Taiwan are eligible.
Good clarification. What does native mean here? Just born there. Are there exceptions?
Generally, native means born in that country, regardless of where you live now or your current citizenship. But yes, there are a couple of potential exceptions.
Such as?
You might be able to claim eligibility through your spouse if your spouse was born in an eligible country, but you both have to be on the entry, both get visas, and enter the U.S. together.
Okay, the chargeability rule.
Exactly. Or if you were born in an ineligible country, but neither of your parents was born there or legally resided there when you were born.
So they were just visiting or working temporarily.
Right. Then you might be able to claim the country of birth of one of your parents, if that parent's country is eligible.
Interesting wrinkles there. And just one last time, let's nail down those education work requirements.
Absolutely critical. You need either a high school education or its equivalent. Remember, that's the full 12 years of formal schooling, not a GED.
Yeah.
Or 2 years of work experience in the last 5 years in a qualifying occupation. That's one requiring at least 2 years of training experience using that ONET database standard SVP 7.0 or higher, Job Zone 4 or 5.
You need one or the other.
Correct, one or the other.
Okay, so as we wrap up this deep dive, What are the absolute key takeaways for listeners?
Number 1, selection is a chance, not a guarantee. It's the start line, not the finish line.
Right.
Number 2, if selected, act fast. Pay close attention to instructions, get your documents organized thoroughly.
Be meticulous.
Very meticulous. And number 3, stay vigilant. Watch those deadlines and be super cautious about scams. Only use official U.S. government resources.
And where can people find those official resources?
The main place is the official Diversity Visa Program page on the U.S. Department of State website. Just search Diversity Visa Program on travel.state.gov.
Travel.state.gov.
You can also email the Kentucky Consular Center, KCC, directly at Email Protected. Be sure to include your name, birth date, and case number.
KCCDV@state.gov.
Yep. And if you're outside the U.S., your local U.S. embassy or consulate is also a resource.
Okay, so key points. Check the official site, act quickly at selected, meet all the tough requirements,
Yeah.
and be super careful about scams.
That really covers it. And, as you think about all this, whether you were selected this time or maybe you'll apply in the future, maybe just take a moment, think about the potential, the new beginnings, the opportunities this could represent, but also be realistic. Recognize the effort, the detail, the commitment this whole process demands.
It's a serious undertaking.
It truly is. So maybe now's a good time, regardless of your status for DV 2026, to really dig into those official resources we talked about. Think about what steps you could take now to be prepared for any future chances that might come your way.